Hi everybody, welcome back to Goth Academy. Hi Itamar. Itamar?
Hi.
What do we know about Tyrion Lannister?
He looks a little bit like me.
A lot of viewers commented that for some reason.
Peter Dinklage, not the Tyrion from the books.
Peter Dinklage, that's a good looking man.
Yeah, he's a handsome man. Right. So what do we know about Tyrion?
Right.
He's the second son, second son
right.
of the most powerful man in Westeros.
Tyrion Lannister. But he's an imp.
And he's an imp. A deformed individual, ugly, dwarf.
Considered like as bad luck, maybe a little bit good luck, but it's bad luck for a family to have an imp. It's like an ominous sign or something.
Yeah, it's very, very precise what Tyrion says. Like every dwarf is a bastard in the eyes of his father.
And also let's remember that in the book, he's much uglier than in the show, and afterwards he has his nose cut off, so he's like a hideous creature.
It's a good point, because in the books he's really ugly. Like his ugliness is something of very, very present in his character and his all his relationship with his surroundings.
Right.
Like he always expects, the moment he meets people, he always expects this look, this downgrading look, this disgusted look.
Imagine how it is for him as a person. For him to experience this in every interaction with every person throughout his life. It's very hard. Very hard.
But he is a very strong character.
But he's also sensitive.
He's sensitive, really feels his surroundings. He feels the facial expressions. He's very precise. He's very intuitive. He's very perceptive.
Right.
He's like a reader of people. He has like a very high EQ, emotional intelligence.
Right.
You have a lot of soft spots, especially to underdogs.
Right.
And he says, like, I have a weakness to cripples and broken things, cripple bastards and broken things.
And whores also.
And whores, I have no choice. He has no choice.
No, but as the fact that he has compassion for whores who. In this time, people don't generally have compassion for them.
Yeah.
Even though in our standards in the books, he doesn't behave very well, but in the standards of the time, he's ahead of his time.
He's outside of this world. There's something about being a bastard. It's very present in Jon's character as well.
Right.
And something being as a bastard or an exiled person.
Right.
That from like a very early age, there's something was broken between you and the reality.
Right.
So all of your interpretation of reality and all of your conversations or encounters with reality is from an outside perspective.
And combining with all the expectations that were on him when his mother was pregnant. He's the son of Tywin Lannister. He could be the heir of Casterly Rock. And then out comes this disappointment, this huge monster. That's hard. That's very hard on a person.
Like they judge him only on his appearance. So he had to build a wall, 7 feet tall at least, in order to survive. This wall needs to protect him from the scorn of the others. And
but he uses his deficiencies as a shield. He wears them with pride.
It's a very, very, very nice tip for people.
Wear
your deformities outside, so it will not be can use the weapon against you.
And even though he saved King's Landing, he was very good as a master of coin, and in Lannisport, he was in charge of all the drainage, whatever, and he was very good at the job. Whatever he did, never appreciated, never respected.
Yeah.
So that's how he's surrounded.
He doesn't fit the song. He doesn't fit the songs, the hero songs.
Right.
It's a much better song than the Ghost of Renly saved the King's Landing and not a despised imp. It's
and he sees himself as someone who's smart and intelligent and knowledgeable and who can get shit done.
The first thing that we see him from his point of view is reading books. He's reading books. He's in the library of Winterfell, searching for some books, reading about dragons, reading
so he's very curious also.
Like intellectually, he loves knowledge.
We viewers and readers, we have a different view on him.
Yeah, George R. R. Martin did a fantastic job putting us in his shoes. Because he's like the number one favorite character.
Yeah, he's maybe the protagonist of the story, you could argue.
We, the readers, identify with him as an underdog.
Right.
He has a strong sense of justice, and I think you can explain why. Because he was born broken to a
Right.
broken world, and only a broken man
Yeah,
can
who felt
see
injustice.
who felt injustice towards him can see the injustice
Right.
in this world, and it's
Right.
very present in this character.
And it's very rare for someone of his status and class.
He has some kind of a modern outlook on life that is detached from the the common sense of this period,
Yeah.
from the establishment wisdom of,
Right,
this age. He's not a believer in this society.
After all that we mentioned, after that, he's accused of killing the king. And he killed his father. So he's basically the most reviled person in Westeros as far as like the mainstream media is concerned.
Yeah. In this current time in the story, he's one of the most despised character there is.
It's very sad.
In this world. Yeah, it's very sad. He doesn't deserve that.
This is a great setup for this video's bold prediction about Tyrion, the person. Okay, so when we think about what will happen to Tyrion, we have to take into account that George R.R. Martin said that Tyrion is his favorite character and basically his alter ego in some sense.
He, with a capital H, calls himself a nerd. That when he grew up, all this fantasy and stuff like that and science fiction was popular, but not that popular like today.
And it wasn't cool to be a geek. So you
versa.
think that Tyrion is basically a nerd, a geek?
I think Tyrion will be the embodiment of the ultimate revenge of the nerds. Nerd! Tyrion is a nerd. You can say he's a nerd because he likes books. He likes education.
But he's the best kind of nerd because he's witty.
The outside surrounding sees Tyrion as this nerd, let's say, as an imp, as an ugly, sees only this outside. The stuff that are important to him, let's say, like education, like being precise, like being scientific in a way. It's something like, that nerds do.
Okay.
And not that important for this
Right.
world.
And being accepted also.
It's his weapon, but it's not the ultimate weapon of this world.
Okay.
Also, what makes him like a nerd is the fact that he's being bullied all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
All the time he's being bullied. You're a dwarf, you're an imp, you're not important.
He's a Lannister.
He's a Lannister, and still Janos Slint can come and say, "Who are you? I don't care."
Imp.
You're
You're an
imp,
Okay, so you said that Tyrion is the embodiment of the revenge of the nerds. Talk a little bit in general about the expression, the term revenge of the nerds.
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 It's like a social denominator, so it's like a lower social class in the politics of high schools and stuff like that. But this is true only in the Game of Thrones in high school.
Okay.
After that, the game is changed.
It's very...
And the skills that the nerds cultivated when they were in the bottom of the social pyramid served them after the game has changed. Like being smart, being educated, being precise.
And being able to study and to concentrate.
And one of the most important skills in the toolbox of the nerds is the ability to look at the reality from outside. Like to analyze it from outside, see the injustice, or see something that you can, fix, or maybe improve, or add something to it. And it's a skill that not everyone has it. I mean, think about it. Maybe this is what part of the reason that now they rule the world.
The nerds rule the world.
The nerds have in the last 30 years have created a world in which their skills are the most appreciated now, and the people that bullied them now needs them, now pay them money, now needs their services, and now teaching their kids to be like the people they
bullied in high school.
Bullied in
but if you look at the top of the pyramid, like U.S. presidents and like whatever British prime ministers, like leaders, they're not usually nerds. They're good looking. They're tall.
Yeah, but
they can talk with in front of crowds.
This is one part of like the ruling elite.
Okay.
The politician doesn't rule the world necessarily. If Bill Gates calls President Obama tomorrow and said, "Meet me for golf. I have something to ask of you," he would say, "Yeah, of course."
And he needs the donations to run.
Yeah, and he uses his internet. He uses all the inventions, all the
and all the advisors around Obama are all like ex-nerds.
Another sign you can say that the nerds have won in some way
Well,
is the fashion. It suddenly became cool to be a nerd, you know.
right.
You had to have this nerds fashion, you know, this hipster culture. It's something nerdy, like, you know, with the
Right.
glasses and the
Bow
ties, you know,
Yeah.
and the beard, you know, like a sloppy in a fashion way, you know.
Okay, so I understand. Tyrion is the embodiment of the revenge of the nerds, but how is that going to play out in the story?
Specifically Tyrion.
Yes. Itamar.
So coming back to the bold prediction,
Yeah.
the people who bullied him will need his services later on. And when you think about it, let's go outside of Tyrion for a moment
Okay.
to the whole story. We are talking about A Song of Ice and Fire, a TV show that was created from these books. It's probably number one popular phenomenon
Hands
today.
down.
And do you think it was possible if not the nerds have won? That the fact that this show and books and all of this memosphere of Game of Thrones,
Videosphere, blogosphere.
and blogosphere of this Game of Thrones, the fact that this story is so popular,
Right.
it's because the nerds have already won.
So
Like, imagine 20 years ago, someone put in $100 million on a fantasy show,
right.
you know?
Only like a cool cop show with a cool guy.
with a handsome guy, you know.
Yeah,
everyone
kicking
is
ass.
Kicking ass and stuff like that.
Okay, so bottom line, bold prediction.
He will be accomplished in a new world that he will be a part,
Maybe a leader of.
or a leader, or in the leadership of the creation of this new world, in which his skills as a nerd
Yeah.
will be much more valuable,
Right.
and his deformities and his like weaknesses, his outside weaknesses, will not be that relevant.
Yeah. Less relevant.
Or
for
less
sure.
relevant, and all the people
Okay.
that joked and mocked him will come kiss his feet. You hear that?
Okay,
Yeah,
I like.
I was the bully.
Okay, I like that prediction. So if you think that Tyrion will end up being respected and accepted by society, or if you think otherwise, be sure to comment. We're gonna have more specifics about how it will all play out in the Game of Thrones in a separate video character breakdown of Tyrion. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, click like. Check in the description our
us.
Patreon page, and please support us if you want to. Of course, subscribe to get our next video, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.